Yo, welcome back to a new video. This is the series where I read a chapter of a new book every single day, then I come and tell you guys exactly what I've learned so that you guys don't have to do the reading yourself. So, as you know, the book that I'm reading is The Untethered Soul. And basically, to kind of summarize the book in one line, it's basically the realization that you're not your thoughts, you're not your emotions, but you're simply aware of them. You're your consciousness that's aware of them. And then once you realize that, then you can start the process of freeing yourself from being too engrossed in the world, that kind of thing. It's not like the typical book that I normally read. To me, it's kind of like all this, spiritual stuff. I'm like, okay, man, like I like things that are a lot more tangible, but I thought, you know what, let me actually try something different, kind of go out of my comfort zone a bit. So I'm actually interested. I'm a few chapters in. I'm on chapter 2. And today we're going to talk about the chapter that's titled Who Am I? So there was this monk called Ramana Maharshi, and he asked a simple question, who am I? So his thing was like, when you see, who sees? Who hears when you hear? Who feels when you feel? Who smells when you smell? Who dreams when you dream, right? If I was to ask you who you are, right? If I say like, yo, who are you? You're gonna say your name, your knee-jerk reaction. Someone asks me, I'm gonna say, I'm Ibrahim. But am I though? Am I just a collection of letters? Like, I'm more than just a name, right? Now, there's another way you can answer it. You can say, okay, I'm Ibrahim, who was born in Gloucester, who grew up in the Midlands, lived abroad for a few months, and is in the UK this summer. Maybe that's me. But you're a lot more than just your experiences. You're talking about what Ibrahim went through, not who Ibrahim actually is, right? If you grew up somewhere else, you'd still be you, right? You'd still be the same person, but with different experiences. So, who actually are you when you actually think about it? It's actually a serious kind of question. When I heard that, because I listened to the audiobooks, right? So when I heard that, I was like, bro, what do you mean, who am I? But when I was actually thinking about it, I don't know how to truly answer that. So I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting. But, when it comes to your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, your senses, you are not them, you're just aware of them, right? So if you're aware of them and you know that all of these are happening to you, you can't be something if you're aware of it, is what the book tries to say essentially. So the fact that you're aware of them, you're the the awareness of being, which is aka your consciousness. So that's who you are. You are your consciousness. If you were to lose your sight today, if you were to lose your taste, if you were to lose your hearing, you're still you, right? You're aware that you may have lost this stuff. However, if you lose your consciousness, if you lose your awareness, you're gone. Like, you're no longer you. So that actually made me realize, okay, so I'm my consciousness, I'm my awareness of being. I am me because of everything that I'm aware of. That's what makes me. I'm aware that I'm here. I'm aware that I can see certain things. I'm aware of my emotions, etc., etc. And yeah, like the way to see it right is you live in a deep seat of consciousness. So imagine in your mind you've got like a throne inside your mind, right? And you're sitting deep into a room. At the back of the room is a throne, and you're overlooking all of these little things that happen on a day-to-day basis. All the thoughts that are whizzing through your mind, your emotions, etc. They're like little kids kind of playing around you, but you're just watching. You're just observing it, right? Another analogy the book gives, it's like, let's say, for example, one of those super immersive cinema experiences, right? Where, it's engaging all the senses, you can hear things, you can touch things, you might even be able to smell things, right? And you're super engrossed in it. You're super engrossed in it. You think, listen, as far as I'm concerned, I'm in the movie, I'm one of the characters, right? It's like being super engrossed in that. It's got all your senses, and then someone just shakes you out of it. And you're like, oh, okay, like, I've snapped out of it. I'm back into reality now. That's what every day is like. You need to stop getting so caught up on things. And according to the book, right, you need to just realize that you're just observing everything that's happening in life. Like, life is kind of happening to you. And I don't really like that term, like, yo, like life's happening to me. I like to be in control of things, but it helps with detachment, not getting too attached to outcomes, results, having more peace internally, right? It's just seeing it, reframing it from the position of, okay, look, I'm just observing life. Life happens, and I'm observing it through Abraham's lenses. Like, I'm just watching this. I'm not gonna take things too much to heart. I'm just gonna open my heart up, let things flow. Um, and yeah, pretty much that's what this chapter's about. Basically, it says that your true home is your consciousness. It's what's been with you since you were born, and it's gonna be what's with you until the day you die. It's your consciousness. It's not your emotions only. It's not your thoughts. It's everything. It's you that's being aware of all of that. And it's called your seat of self. That's what they call it. Your seat of self. Self. Being sat in that on that throne of like, okay, I'm watching all of these kind of fleeting feelings, emotions, thoughts in front of me. But I know that's not me. I'm aware of them. I'm just observing them. So that's what the seat of self is. And yeah, like just to like talk about my thoughts on this. Like I said, it's not something that I usually take too much notice of, right? Like the spiritual stuff. Because in my head, I'm the kind of person where it's like, or I was the kind of person where it's like, okay, if it's not something super tangible like finances wise, career wise, I'm not really gonna pay too much attention to it. But it does kind of make sense when you overthink things, when things get kind of worked up too much inside of you, you can't let go of things. It does affect you outside of, in other areas of your life, like work, etc. So I guess just making sure that, you're actually able to answer that. It's actually just opened my mind up to a new way of thinking. I'm not sure I 100% agree with it, but it does make the most sense to me from all the other things I've heard up until this point in life. Like, your your consciousness, like that's who you are. You're your consciousness. You're your awareness of being. And I think that's super special. Like, I know animals, etc., they're aware that they're there, right? But it's nowhere near as complex as humans. That's one of my beliefs, right? So I guess knowing that and understanding, seeing it from another point of view, that okay, you are your awareness, it does open my eyes, makes a lot of sense. The book's been interesting so far. Kind of my review, it's like every chapter it talks it takes a bit long to kind of for the point to hit home, but when all the pieces fall into place, it's like, okay, that makes sense. That's why you mentioned that story earlier. But yeah, essentially kind of detaching yourself from the present moment, seeing life as like, don't get too sucked into the movie. Kind of detach yourself, be aware that you're watching all of this, right? And then when you turn the focus back onto your soul, that's what they call meditation, right? I'm not fully sure I'm on board with the idea of, everything that the book's talking about, like spirituality, that kind of thing. But it's interesting so far for sure. But yeah, I guess the only thing that is maybe a red flag for me is like the passiveness, the passive undertones of it. Like, life's happening to you, just sit back and observe, let the love flow through you, which I actually probably should do, right? Actually probably should do, for sure. Kind of, it will help you be like a light for others, right? But honestly, I just think I don't want to go through life with like a passive mentality or a passive attitude. But in terms of kind of understanding why I react to certain things the way I do, it does make a lot of sense. And I guess it can help me calm down and avoid a lot of like knee-jerk, snappy reactions that I might do sometimes. So yeah, man, it's opening my eyes up to a different way of thinking. And yeah, tomorrow we're gonna make a new video on a new chapter and catch you guys tomorrow.